Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another pretty serious show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And for the people asking why you're still talking about this, why is everybody else still talking about it? Please spare me. If you don't want to watch this particular topic, don't click on the video. Don't click on the video and ask me, oh, why are you still talking about it? So the question is, why are you still watching content on it? There's a big internet out there. Go out there and watch whatever the hell you want to watch. But don't come on here clicking on content and asking me, hey, why are you producing this? Because it's our bloody platform. We move on. Let me continue on with this story here. As you know, John Morant is in some serious mess right now. And most of it is of his doing, by his actions and the people that he associates with. This is not even up for discussion anymore. We've done various shows talking about the seriousness of this issue and the potential suspension he may be facing, the monetary penalties he will be facing, and even the possibility of his contract being voided, the $231 million contract. Stephen A. Smith outlined this in a memo that he got from someone very connected inside the NBA. We did a show on this just yesterday. The person we were all waiting to hear from was Adam Silver. Now, a lot of people felt as if Adam Silver was pretty lenient on John Morant, but very, very hard on Kyrie. And they were like, I don't understand what's going on here. Why are you being so lenient on him? So yesterday, during the NBA draft, he went on ESPN and he was being interviewed by Malika Andrews. And the very first question that she asked him had to do with the John Morant drama, because that's really what it is. And as Adam Silver began to speak, I have to say I was very surprised at the position that he took. So what we want to do is want to play what NBA Commissioner Adam Silver had to say here, and then we're going to come back and unpack his comments. Take a listen to that.
But let's start here, because this is the second time in about 2 months that John Morant, the star of the Memphis Grizzlies, has been seen on social media brandishing a firearm. And before he was reinstated after his suspension last time, he flew to New York, he sat down, he met with you. What did you say to him about how much more severe it would be if he did this again?
Well, we talked directly about the consequences first before we got to a subsequent potential to have done something wrong. We were very focused on the misconduct that was in front of us at the time. And frankly, most of our conversation was about how incredibly serious the first incident was of waving, a firearm on social media. And again, and the consequences there, an 8-game suspension was pretty serious and something that he, at least to me, seemed to take incredibly seriously in that time. And we spoke for a long time about not just the consequences that could have on his career, but the safety issues around it. Could have injured, maimed, killed himself, someone else with an act like that. And also the acknowledgement that, as you said, he's a star. I mean, he has an incredibly huge following. Yeah. And that my concern, and I thought he shared with me, that millions, if not tens of millions of kids globally would see him as having done something that was celebrating in a way. That act of using a firearm in that fashion. And so I at least was left with the sense that he was taking this incredibly seriously. So honestly, I was shocked when I saw this weekend that video. Now, we're in the process of investigating it, and we'll figure out exactly what happened to the best we can then. It's the video's a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst, but we'll figure out, exactly what happened there.
So you heard what he had to say. After watching that interview and hearing him speak, it seems like Adam Silver is not playing any games with John Morant. It seems like Adam Silver was generally taken aback when he saw that video. Dare I say he was shocked. He was not surprised. He was shocked. I think Adam Silver had the very same reaction that most people had, but I think his reaction was even more pronounced because he's someone that actually had a face-to-face conversation with Ja Morant. See, you and I didn't. He did. So I'm assuming it's someone who sat down and spoke to the guy face-to-face, and he said he saw remorse, he saw contrition. He felt that Ja really understood the gravitas of his actions. But apparently he didn't. Now let's parse through the words that Adam Silver said about the things he was most concerned about. I want you guys to pay close attention because a lot of people are looking at this particular situation with stupidity in their emotions, and they're not looking at the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is simply this. This is not a complicated issue at all. Some people are trying to overcomplicate it. It's not complicated whatsoever. Adam Silver is the commissioner of the National Basketball Association that has been around for decades. We understand this. The National Basketball Association makes revenue from a few ways. Number one, sponsors. Number two, ticket sales. Number three, TV deals. We understand this. Whenever we mention the leg about sponsors, there are a lot of brands and corporations that associate themselves with individual NBA teams, like Aura with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Honey with the Clippers, and etc., that associate themselves with individual teams and partners with the league. And a lot of these brands have their own particular image. And what they're doing is they're annexed to the NBA, an NBA that markets its game through who? Its players. And one of the biggest faces in this current NBA is who? Ja Morant. I hope this is very rudimentary. Is Ja Morant. If you listen very carefully to what Adam Silver said, he said you have a young star in Ja Morant that is being seen by tens of millions of young kids globally. And the NBA does not want a product that is associated with foolishness and weapons and all of that. Now, some people will say, well, it's a Second Amendment right. We understand that. But Ja Morant is not being employed by the state of Tennessee. Is he? He isn't. So please, that's a moot point. He is being employed by a private industry, which is the NBA. And therefore, he has to adhere to their guidelines if he wants to remain in the NBA. I think a lot of people have this thing confused. No one is forcing Ja Morant to be in the NBA. Nobody is forcing him to play basketball. He did that on his own volition. So if you decided that you wanted to go into the NBA and be an NBA player and earn all that damn money, then you have to abide by the guidelines. People that don't get this are looking at this thing from a very childish lens. They're like, why can't I just do what I want to do and still make my money? These are kids. If you work for someone that pays you, they have certain policies that you must follow. If you don't want to follow it, go get another job. They don't have to follow to what you like. If you don't like their policy, go get another job. And in this case, the NBA does not want to be associated with these type of things. He also mentioned something else about another potential revenue stream with the betting and all of that stuff. And they don't want to be associated with any kind of nonsense that with a league that's trying to portray a particular image. This is about money. This is about money. This entire story has always been about money. Not small money, not chicken change money. We're talking about billions of dollars. The NBA, I believe, just signed a $75 billion TV deal. We're not talking about no chicken change here. No chicken change here. And the revenue Ja Morant can generate for the NBA is in the billions. So if he does things that jeopardizes the image they're trying to portray, he's up out of there. Adam Silver is not joking. He's not playing. These people are not playing with you. This is not a laughing matter. This is not one of those things where you try to go back and forth and state your case. It's not one of those issues. It's a very black and white issue. And what most people don't understand is why is Ja putting himself in a position to lose hundreds of millions of dollars over what? This is a very dangerous game on multiple fronts. Number one, the front of losing money. A lot of money. Because then one would have to ask yourself, so what did you put yourself, what was the point of putting yourself all through that throughout all of these years of your life? Well, so what was it for? You did all of that work to get to the NBA to then blow it. So why did you go through all of that work? Number one. Number two, Keyshawn Johnson pointed this out on ESPN. Y'all got to chill with all of this gang stuff. These gang members are not playing around. And a lot of them are not happy that he's throwing up all of these signs. And some people are saying you're not part of this thing. This is a very dangerous game to play. It's a very, very dangerous game to play. If you're a tough guy, be a tough guy. By all means, be that. But if you're not and you're playing that game, it's not a good game to play. Because there are people out there that actually live that life. And you may be sitting down looking at it, maybe like the way people look at an animal in a glass menagerie and looking at it and they're like, oh, this looks attractive. I wonder what it's like to put my hand in that jar, and I wonder what that alligator would do if I try to rub him on his nose. He'll bite your damn hand off. This ain't nothing to play with. This is not nothing. This ain't nothing to play with. And that's why I've always said the way you carry yourself, the type of energy you put out there, you will attract it. This is a very dangerous game. And it's no laughing matter. The people that are trying to find ways to argue on Ja Morant's behalf and all of this stuff, these people don't give a damn about Ja Morant. What they care about is their views and their interests. And if it means Ja Morant losing hundreds of millions of dollars to satisfy whatever position they want to have out there, then so be it. They don't have Ja Morant's best interests at heart. They have their personal views at the forefront of their minds, not Ja Morant. Because no one will tell me that Ja Morant is doing some type of noble deed here. You heard the commissioner. This is serious business. Very, very serious business. What I want to know from you guys is, number one, what do you think about what Adam Silver had to say? Number two, what do you think Ja Morant needs to do moving forward? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. Catch you on the next show. Peace.